Welcome to the Money 911 podcast, where we explore the secrets to financial fitness and success. I'm your host, Chris Miller, and today we have a very special guest who embodies the principles of integrity, transparency, and impactful leadership. Joining us is Tricia Benn, the Chief Executive Officer of the C-Suite Network and General Manager of the Hero Club. Tricia has a remarkable 20-year track record of industry disruption, building new businesses and driving double-digit growth year after year. She's a visionary leader dedicated to creating executive communities that measure success beyond just the numbers. Welcome, Tricia Benn. All right, Tricia Benn, it's so nice to see you and have you here.
Chris, it is always great to be with you.
I love you. You're like my little sister, and that's what I tell people.
Yep, I am so ecstatic to be your little sister, and like sisters, we're learning and growing and building every day, and so I'm so grateful for that, Chris.
Thank you. And it's so beautiful because you're my big sister in this fancy CEO world and the things that you've accomplished. And I mean, I've already given a little bit about your resume, but we're doing such a really fun thing, Wealth and Wisdom event in San Diego. And it's really going to be a bridge to the National C-Suite Mixer, right? Launching in San Diego. And I'm just excited. That word gets so overused, right? Mm-hmm. But how do you see, with all of your experience, how this can bridge the gap between financial success and personal fulfillment? Because, in your experience being like an exclusive, these network events are really transformational, and they create so much opportunity between business leaders, right?
You really do. I think the biggest thing, Chris, is, and you said it earlier, like you're part of this big fancy, CEO thing. At the end of the day, we're all CEOs of our own selves, at the very least, right?
Right.
And the fact of the matter is we're all just humans. Those of us that are building businesses, those of us that are thinking about our financial success, that's all about how we create sustainability in how we want to live our lives, what we want to see as success for our own personal lives, and then, of course, the legacy we want to leave for others. So for me, how we expand into San Diego with your leadership, and of course, so many great partners and so many great leaders that we have in the San Diego area, it's all about that real connection of real business leaders that are driven by those things that really matter, and how we succeed together, how we avoid, the potholes in the road that others of us have already experienced or know about or have avoided successfully. And the faster we learn together, the faster we're able to scale and see that success, map that success. And that's certainly what we do together, Chris.
Exactly. And it's your background. You have quite an impressive background. And I would probably ask you, what do you call success? Because one of the things that I value in this network is trust. And I trust you. I trust Jeffrey. I trust the people that are here. They become like a second family to me. That is really rare. I mean, I've been in practice 34 years, so I'm not just starting. So what would you consider success?
That's such an interesting question for me, Chris, because, my own personal brand is all around success. So success, when you ask me what success is for me, it's a very personal question. And I think that's what's missed so often in networking, in coaching, in masterminds, in organizations. The assumption is this is success. Well, that might be success for you, but it may be the opposite of what is really truly successful for someone else. And my podcast and my TV show are C-Suite Success with Tricia Benn. And the whole premise of this positioning of what is success is that success is what you define it to be. And if you allow someone else to define it for you, you know, not only have you already failed, but you will continue to. It's inevitable. There is no other option. So how every person defines it themselves is what's most critical. For me personally, success is all about how I drive the success of great business leaders, how I elevate, how I can facilitate, how I can use all of my experience. I was an executive in 3 enterprise-sized organizations, building businesses, always the entrepreneur. Then I came over to C-suite, 8 years ago now, by the way. 10 years ago as the first paying sponsor, but 8 years ago on team. And now an owner and a partner in the business, the CEO. It's really, truly a totally different experience, but the same guiding principles, the same approach in terms of leadership. And probably the most surprising thing for most everyone I speak with is that it's no different than how you build your team. We have 350,000 people in our base, right? And we have millions and tens of millions that are downloading and using our content and so on. But at the end of the day, I just have a really large team of incredibly talented people, Kris, like you, and so many others that are doing incredible things, carving new territories, disrupting the things we know don't work for people, don't serve people in our industries and in the business models that have been accepted or built over time. So that, for me, that's real success, is being able to elevate great business leaders, see them to their success, and make sure that we're having great impact with
Right.
all of the success in the communities we serve.
Right. And, the C-suite network, it really emphasizes integrity and transparency, right? So these values are contributing to long-time financial success in the long run. And you often talk about the hero factor, right? That kind of approach. Maybe explain what it is and how it helps measure success beyond just the financial numbers, right?
Mhm. Well, the hero factor is actually Jeffrey Hazlitt's book, and that is just literally the Bible, the thesis of what it means to be a great leader. And I always thumbnail that down to lead with integrity, transparency, give back to our community, share in our success. And that has real power and meaning for those of us. And we do believe the majority of business owners that are scaling businesses, the manufacturing businesses, the large organizations that might start in a garage but end up building and scaling over time, most are giving back. Most are making sacrifices to see the success and make payroll, of the people that are serving with them. And so that hero factor is really about those principles. And then that trust that you mentioned, Kris, it's about creating an environment where we can be honest about and truthful about our experience and what it means, what we've learned, what worked, what didn't work, and even more importantly, why. Because the reason something works for me might be the exact reason it wouldn't work for you, Kris, and the other way around. So these cookie cutter ideas of you should model yourself like this, or you should speak this way, you should tell these stories. The most important thing is that you're authentic. You're looking for pain points that you can solve. You're disrupting the things you know are wrong in your industry. And ideally, you have a community like C-Suite Network where you can trust and you can share and you can help others with that experience that you have and see your own success faster as well.
It's amazing to me, like I was saying, I've been in practice 34 years and I've talked to a lot of CEOs, and it shocks me how amazing they are in their company. But it really isn't different for them, let alone the financial officers that I spoke to in Washington, D.C., that handle the billions and trillions of dollars. And then you ask them, okay, how many are you ready for retirement or pre-retirement, right? Like 2% of people will raise their hand. First off, there's no judgment. because nobody's taught about healthy money and what to do. We all go to school, learn how to make money, get out of school. And what do? We go make money and give it to somebody else to gamble. And then it's like a roulette wheel. Is it going to be there or not when you get there? But it's a different consciousness right now. And so you've seen a lot, I mean, you're inside of a lot of these companies, and financial health is so crucial for business leaders. And are there any strategies or things that you've found most effective to drive business growth just overall? I know that's a big question, but
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, on the personal financial side, I'm not surprised by that at all. The more expertise, the more seniority, the more responsibility that you have in one area, the more you realize how incredibly incompetent you are at most everything else, right? So if we're being honest, right? If we're being honest, we as we get moving along in our businesses, in our careers, in our lives, we specialize in certain areas. And the things that we don't like, of course, get dropped to the bottom. And frequently for business leaders, ourselves gets dropped to the bottom. And financials are right at the top of that list. It takes a lot of conscientiousness, which is very challenging. Executives die more frequently with heart attacks because they forget to breathe. Like, we can forget to breathe. We can easily forget to make sure we're getting the paperwork we owe for whatever it might be. Maybe it's our living trust.
Yeah.
My point is really that on the personal side of things, bonding with people you can trust that will take your needs, your ideas for success and what you have and help you not just do what you should do, but help you create joy around getting where you want to go. And that's what you do for me, Kris. This is what you do at Excellence is nowhere near my area of excellence. And I so love and appreciate that. And that's the power of a great community, of a great family where you can count on each other for those strengths. And rather than just towing the line of the industry and saying, oh, well, Tricia, you should do this. You're saying, Tricia, I know what you're wanting to achieve here because you've listened to me, you know me, and you're saying, this is where I know we'll be able to make this happen. And you make it fun for me, and anybody who's ever worked with Kris, it's sort of like, okay, I have 8 minutes between two sessions that I'm leading, on a Saturday, and Kris makes it happen. That works for me with my crazy CEO life. And I have children and I have a life and I have, this incredible passion and love for my business and all the people I serve and serve with. So that is so powerful and so important on the personal side. Do you want me to address the business side?
Yes. Thank you. And thank you. Thank you for that too. Yes, please.
Of course, that is the magic of life.
Yeah.
Really, truly is. There are things I really don't enjoy, but if I get to do them with a friend who does enjoy them, oh
Right.
my goodness, that makes it fun.
Right.
Like I don't like interior design, but if I'm with a friend of mine who loves that, oh my gosh, I can have a blast with that. But by myself, it's like an expensive, unending grocery shop. I don't know.
I hear you. Yeah.
On the business side of things, I think it's absolutely critical to be thinking about your business model and how you are delivering against a pain point that will be profitable, and that you're outlining that pain point in terms of a mission that others can wrap around and support you in succeeding with. So going it alone, pretty much impossible. I mean, I just don't even know how you could even joke about succeeding in business alone. It's impossible.
Right.
Making sure that you have a mission, and Kris, obviously, you want a healthy life, right? Healthy money, healthy life.
Right.
These are things that are pain points for us. And you've created a solution around that others can wrap around. They understand your joy and passion for seeing that success for people. That means you have all these business partners. And the real key here is they don't have to be paid employees. People think in that old framework of paid employees are, my team. Absolutely not. Your team is anyone who's aligned on your mission, who wants to see you succeed and has something to bring to the table that will see you succeed and profitably. You have to be profitable to create sustainability to deliver on any mission. So I don't care if you're a not-for-profit for profit, any other kind of organization, you have to have a sustainable business model. So those are the critical pieces that I think of immediately when I think of scaling a business. And then there's a lot in terms of, how you work through the financials, how you're delivering and cash flow. And there's so many aspects to real success as you're continuing to scale your business, team building, how you're hiring. I mean, there's just so much to that, but the basic principles are pretty darn simple. And ironically, those are the things I think people miss the most.
Right. And that's why, I wanted to make it wealth and wisdom, mixed together because, wealth. But, that's missing something, right? The wisdom or healthy money, happy life. I mean, when it's healthy, you're not losing it. You have, you're not worrying, you're happy. And it just changes the momentum and the energy. So, we have a great opportunity here. We're doing the Women's Retirement Roadmap. We're going to do a workshop on that just because women are ending up, with a lot of the money, huge percentages and they don't know, just like my mom and dad, my dad got sick and my mom was sick. She didn't even know where the checkbook was. And right. And that's pretty much a huge part of the society is like that. And even if they know where it is, they don't want to have anything to do with it, but to use it. And so that's the other thing of creating an income you'll never outlive, setting up chunks of money that start paying you off that's either tax-free or pays you for life, that covers all kinds of things. But the wealth with the wisdom, which you have, the wisdom, and that's why I think it's such a huge opportunity that for the listeners, for those that are going to come to the event, they're going to win. We'll do a drawing and there's going to be a one-on-one meeting with you. I don't know. The CEO C-suite, I think that's pretty cool. And if I would have had that opportunity, 20 years ago when I was trying to figure out the new shift of my business, I would have paid, I have paid a lot of money for those kinds of meetings. And so this is a gift that we're going to have at the event. And you'll be in each workshop so people can meet you and feel your sweet heart of caring and have the opportunity for their business or life to be able to have a one-on-one with you, which to me is priceless.
Well, so Kris, first, I am so thrilled to be there. So I will be in all the sessions and I will be listening and I will be taking notes because, as I said, this is not my area of excellence. My area of excellence is on all the other stuff that we've been talking about. And I'm just so grateful for that. The fact that I can support, I can be there, I can give my time for anybody that, that we're going to be giving my time to. I'm really thrilled to do that and to be able to help focus in on maybe a little bit of what success looks like for that person. And so for me to be able to do that gift, I'm truly honored and so looking forward to it.
It's fabulous because I really see it's the neatest thing. I've seen that, especially with C-suite too, where I'll be in a situation and I'm kind of like on an island now in my life where I'm not around a lot of people like I used to be. But when I get to go to these C-suite mixer events, I set the intention, or really it's like a prayer where it's like, boy, I sure could use someone that knows how to do YouTube marketing or somebody that really knows how to leverage this whatever, right? And then boom, there they are. And I'm just talking to them, enjoying an hors d'oeuvre or something, right? And that's the beautiful of the network. Yeah.
To your point, yeah. I mean, everybody has these different areas of expertise. You connect and that most trusted network. This is more than 10 years. And of course, all of us with our decades of professional experience and enterprise-sized organizations and buying and selling businesses and all kinds of different things and different countries, of course, around the world. And so to bring all of that to the table, it does mean we have that access. And also no pretenses, being real, being authentic is truly where you see real strength. When someone tries to tell you that everything in their life is perfect, or you should pay to try to be like them,
Yeah.
or succeed as they have, I
Mhm.
think you can really call into question whether there's anything authentic about what they're saying.
Right.
There are challenges for every single one of us. And if somebody's not willing to share those with you, then they're really not giving you truth. They're selling you something. And the fact of the matter is there are real aches and pains and challenges, and having somebody who can say, look, I've been there before. I'm not going to tell you what you should do or should on you. I'm going to tell you exactly where I landed and what helped me through that. Now, it may work for you, it may not work for you, but if I can help, let me know how I can help. And that's probably the one thing that I'm just so thrilled whenever we do our mixers and I meet new people that have come to C-suite. That's the feedback I get the most frequently, is I've never been asked so many times how I could help.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
And
know,
it,
like the person asking them, how can I help you? Right?
right.
It's sort of, people don't expect that. They
No.
expect they're going to go and they're going to feel uncomfortable and they're going to wonder if they know anybody. I mean, there is
Mhm.
nobody who's going to stand still for a millisecond with you and I in the room, Chris.
Right. Right. And there, what I really, that comfort is intuitive. It's not like, you have a big billboard sign, but energetically it's going out in the room like I can trust. Just like in my life in presenting for decades, I played around with whether I talked for 2 hours or 10 minutes. They really weren't listening to me so much as, do I trust you? It's just the thing. And that's what I felt when I first met you and Jeffrey and the community. And what another thing I like about it is you vet it. In other words, it's not free for all. Everybody come, let's try to get as many people as we can. These are quality people. And if somebody shows up, and I've seen this a few times, that aren't integrity, you give them a chance and then they show their colors and they're gone. They're not there.
Well,
And
and even worse, there are predatory practices. We
yeah,
do not allow that. In fact, we have our different leaders across the platform signing pledges. So, Chris, for example, for you, you're part of our Thought Council. You're part of our faculty of C-Suite Network. You've signed a pledge that says, I will not charge people more than they are able to afford to pay. That's a big pledge to make, because a lot of groups out there, not only do they have them pay beyond their means to pay, they have them buying things that they have no business buying, and with the potential of bankrupting themselves with nothing to show for it. And that is
yeah.
unacceptable. So there is so much to be said for how we wrap around and ensure that we're keeping out the predatory practices across all the different industries and sectors. And we serve all of them if you take into account all of our membership of Cross C-Suite Network.
It's fabulous. You and I could go on and keep talking, but I want to just wrap it up here. And for our listeners who are eager to improve their financial fitness and with practical advice, starting on the right path, there's going to be a lot of, information here the whole day. We have 3 different times where we have the women's roadmap for retirement, and nice men are allowed too. It's not just segregated. In fact, I get a lot of nice men that show
Any
up.
men who want to understand the plight of women, right?
Right. Because, it really is the same story, basically. But, with different ages, there's different angles that you come in. And, I've helped over 6,000 people, and they've never been the same story. I've made over 6,000 living trusts. They're all different. Isn't it the funniest thing, right? But we are, and we all have different family issues and different things that we get some creative planning around. Imagine that now, all of that wisdom and wealth wrapped inside of the CEO C-suite level of people that now a lot of people too. You get to your midlife, you're not there yet, but when you get to this point when you want to give back, well, you're there that in the point of giving back, but I mean, people just take their whole businesses and create foundations, and the gifts that you have, they just will morph into that naturally because that's the kind of person you are. But anyway, it's the whole life pattern, because when you look back, your life review, right? You're not going to look at my new car and all that. You're going to look at like, wow, I helped that lady and, in the line, she didn't have enough money, or I, helped this person start their business, or whatever it is. You went out of your way for someone, and that's the money, right? That's the diamond of the C-suite. And that's your heart. And so that's what I see in you. And that's why I love you so much. And I'm excited to support the C-Suite Network and weave in the wealth and wisdom and bring it to California. A lot of lost souls out here.
I can't wait, Kris. And here's something we've kind of alluded to, but it's so important with people's financial health and anything they're avoiding in their business health as well, is we beat ourselves up.
Yeah.
And so this conversation that I have and the branding that I've built around success, C-suite success, is truly about change where your bar is. We use what we think or what we perceive to be the success of someone else or something else we think we should have achieved, and we beat ourselves up with it instead of feeling empowered, enabled, and celebrating the success that we have. And so I can share my story that just absolutely has motivated me since I'm pretty sure my DNA was put together, is that I always say, listen, I'm not precious. I need to be one of only 3 states of being, when you're raised on a farm, useful.
Right.
So if we think about where we set that bar and how do we create usefulness without the judgment, without kicking ourselves, just where do we sit? How do we move things forward? I think with financial success, we can be useful. We can be in that room and figure out, there's one thing I can do here, right? Or Kris,
Right.
what do with this? Just that one useful piece of information, now you can move forward. And so that's what I'm excited for, Kris, is that breakthrough of that one thing that I know will be useful, that I will, without doubt, and I know there'll be way more than one thing, but if I can activate on one thing, Kris, I'm going to be so excited. And that bar of just being useful, creating success for you, that's what it's all about. And that's the gift that you give. And that's what I aspire to every day, in supporting your success and supporting the success of the entire ecosystem.
That's it right there. That's such a good feeling of when you feel that you've been useful, like I have a purpose, right? And you're doing it. And you're doing it, Tricia. You're doing it. And it's like walking down the road and the grass gets greener when you walk by, okay? So, again, we're going to be having this August 15th in San Diego at the Encore Event Center, and we'll put some links inside of here. This will go out on Money 911, hosted on the C-Suite Network, TV and podcast, and then you'll be able to see it on the C-Suite Network pages.com/San Diego Mixer #1. But this will all be going out and we'll be blasting it. So make sure you guys sign up so we can see you there. Any parting words, final notes, Trish, you want to share?
I just can't wait to see everyone, and I cannot wait to give you a great big hug, Kris, and we are going to have an incredible time. So what I would say is just make the time, come on out, invest in yourself, and we'll be investing in you, and you'll be investing in people you didn't know were part of your family, but we're here. So
fabulous. Right. We'll see you there. Perfect. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Tricia, thank you so much for sharing your insights and experiences with us today. Your journey and the work you do with the C-Suite Network and the Hero Club are truly inspiring. For our listeners, remember that financial health is not just about the numbers. It's about building a community, fostering integrity, and creating sustainable success. And don't forget, attendees of our upcoming Healthy Money workshops, you will be able to have a chance to win a one-on-one session with Tricia Benn herself. This is a unique opportunity to gain invaluable insights from one of the most successful business leaders out there. Visit our website to register for the workshop and enter the contest. Thank you all for tuning in to Money 911. Stay financially fit, and we'll see you next time. Hey, maybe we'll see you in San Diego, August 15th. Give me a call, 951-926-4158, and we'll get you all signed up. Look forward to talking to you. See you there. There's so much to learn about healthy money. I hope today's discussion brings you one step closer to securing and protecting your future. So you can get started on the right foot, go to meetwithchrismiller.com and schedule your free financial fitness strategy session. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to Money 911 so you don't miss our next episode, which includes health, wealth, and peace of mind.
The power of purpose. Doing well by doing good. The power of purpose. Doing well by doing good. The power to bless lives inside of all.